Have you ever wondered how weapons in World War 1.5 were like? No, World War 1.5 was a devastating war, not because many people died, but because it was in beta. And we all know the horrors of wars in beta. Hi, I'm Zampen, and I have PhD in military history. I borrowed it from William Atwater, even if he wasn't at home at that time, but I'm sure he was very happy to lend it to me. Thanks, William. Ignore that. Let's continue, please. As humanity has evolved, also our primary need to kill has evolved, and weapons to fulfill that need. We surely are making progress in evolution, aren't we? Ooh, that's quite inappropriate. Weapons that exist today are very little, and that's very good, but let's take a step back and see their historical background, shall we? Today's lesson, World War 1.5 Beta. Desert Eagle, one of the most powerful pistols. Its caliber, big and deadly. But was it always like this? Yes. In fact, guess what else is big and deadly? Arrows. Back in World War 1.5, Desert Eagles used to shoot arrows. Favorite weapon of Sir Jonathan Wick. Every fine gentleman carried a pair while traveling to the country with jet boots. HK-MP5, weapon commonly used by SWAT. But did you know that it was also commonly used by Crusaders? Yes, they had crusades back in World War 1.5. The weapon shot fire and pain. Burn the infidels, cleanse the soul, raise everything to the ground. Deus Volt, infidel!
Deus Volt, Deus Volt, Deus Volt, Deus Volt!
AK-74 is a Russian weapon, but Russians overflow the servers, and the battles were getting a little bit unbalanced, so people were getting quite angry.
Проси пощады, фашистский палач! Смерть на моей земле, гаденыш! Убирайся в свою Германию, сволота! Найдешь смерть на моей земле! Бросай гранату! В правый ряд! Я подавлю огнем противника! Снайпер!
And so Russians were banned altogether with this weapon. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. I don't like this weapon, so I don't care about this weapon. SPAS-12, just like AK, was banned because it was an overpowered weapon, and people will accidentally desert.
Ruger 77.
A gun made for hunting, but there wasn't much to hunt in World War 1.5, except people. And that was illegal, of course. But who cares? The nobility must be entertained! Get those peasants! The gun shot knives. So it was even more entertaining! Grenade launchers were taught as a substitute for catapults, so M79 was just a normal grenade launcher. But better! Sniper rifle, the weapon of the assassins. And campers. But back in the days it was more of a telescope rather than a weapon. Used to look at the stars, only to figure out that there is no day-night cycle, because there were actually no stars at all. Just kidding, it was fucking OP, boy. Light machine guns weren't invented yet, but miniguns? Oh boy, they were bread and butter of the poor, and they fired fucking rockets! It's getting hot in here, isn't it? Let's proceed. Wars don't start without a reason, even if the reason is stupid. Take Italy for example. It took part in World War I for two main reasons. First one is that Italians were bored. Good thing football has been invented. And the second reason is that they asked Austria, Venezia Giulia and Trentino. My boy, what a fine Italian pronunciation. What the fuck? Austrians were about to respond and solve things in a diplomatic way, but Italians had already shot the first spaghetti. But let's get back on track, no one gives a shit about Italy. In this war there were 4 dynasties. The Porcupine dynasty, whereas the Oil dynasty, Weeaboo's dynasty, and Jack's dynasty. And also they all said, fuck it, we're gonna use our own ammunition for every weapon. And so Porcupines used only arrows, Oily people used rockets, Weeaboo's katanas, but there were no katanas at that time, so they used knives, and Jacks used only chainsaws, and it was very fucking scary. They all fought for something, but were also allies. The Porcupine dynasty fought Oil dynasty for bombing Jack's dynasty, because Jack's dynasty gave wood to Porcupine dynasty to make arrows to kill even more oily people from Oil dynasty, so they would stop bombing Jack's dynasty, but they didn't stop bombing Jack's dynasty, so everyone got very angry and then they all decided to kill Weeaboos because no one likes Weeaboos. And so there were only 3 dynasties left. But very soon Oil dynasty died, because shooting range was quite unconventional with only that type of ammunition. The Porcupine dynasty, on the other hand, grew powerful and glorious. Side note, did you know that they are the inventors of Vietnam chopper gunners?
Tango, we're under heavy fire. Requesting air support, over.
I hear you, Delta, loud and clear. A little bit too loud and not so clear. Air support incoming, over.
Another side note, did you know that I hate porcupines? I love hedgehogs. And so Jacks do. And after sowing down the whole Amazonian forest, they realized that they were destroying the little tiny itsy bitsy hedgehog homes. They didn't give any more wood to the scumbag dynasty, so they could not make any more arrows. So what happened next? If you expect a good ending to this story, then you may as well hope that George R.R. Martin will make your favorite character live 4 days in a row. Get it? Stupid show. The ending is that there's no winner. The only winner in this war is the guy that made money off this game. Of this war. And abandoned it and its fanbase. Its soldiers. The Porcupine dynasty became literally porcupines and decided to be friends with hedgehogs. And Jacks have become, as we know them today, lumberjacks. And they're all Canadians. And this is the end of today's lesson. I'm Svempen, and I must leave you now because I have a very urgent meeting with my lawyer. Getting that PhD wasn't worth it at all, was it? Oh my god.
Ora sto portando in polizia.